but we'll circle back with you on this today. I can follow up with our team. I don't have anything to preview for you today. A range of our, sorry, let me start again here. Did you have another question?
Oh, boy. Welcome back into Wake Up America. I'm Rob Finnerty. That was White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki. She was asked about how many Americans are still behind enemy lines in Afghanistan after that botched withdrawal over a month ago. August 31st was the deadline to get everybody out. The administration failed at that. That is today's Psaki Dodge.
We remain, through appropriate channels, of course, in touch with Taliban officials. In terms of the specific numbers, I'd point you to the State Department, and they have the most updated number on that, given they oversee that process. Go ahead.
All right, let's welcome in the panel. Full panel back with us. John Schneider, Christopher Arps, Amy Tarkanian. Chris, Jen Psaki, she's a Biden apologist. We know that. That's obvious. The job of White House Press Secretary is not an easy one. She's become particularly, I would just say, mean and short over the last few weeks. I think, the administration had a really bad September. They're off to an even worse start in October. What do you make of sort of the flip in Jen Psaki's kind of demeanor up there at the podium?
Well, it is a tough job taking shots from reporters day after day, especially when you have to deal with this administration and a president that doesn't seem to be all there. You would think that she would have a little more compassion in that answer about Americans still being left behind in Afghanistan, especially because we have about 20 school children from a San Diego high school that have been abandoned over there, and we don't hear anything about it. I think the pressure is getting to her. Most people don't last 4 years as press secretary.
Right.
Maybe Jen Psaki will be one of those too.
Yeah, we'll see. She says she wants to be out before the start of the new year. We'll see if that does in fact happen. Amy, I know that you were watching the Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen testimony on Capitol Hill a day ago. There were some interesting reports that surfaced yesterday that said that it's obvious that she may have overplayed her hand. There were comparisons to her and Christine Blasey Ford during the Brett Kavanaugh hearings. One of the reports indicated that because she's a big Democratic donor, she's donated to over 30 political candidates, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, that this might have been a plant, somebody that was put there deliberately to testify to actually help knock out the competition for Facebook in the future. What'd you make of that?
Oh, Rob, really? I mean, that would be a shock.
Right.
I don't know if people would actually, who would do such a thing?
Does it make sense to you that something like that could happen? Mark Zuckerberg was out sailing over the weekend with his wife on Sunday. Instead of, going into crisis mode, as you would think most companies would, it didn't seem like he was too concerned.
No, he wasn't concerned. And neither is this woman who's being used. And she has a GoFundMe that's already set up where she's trying to raise $100,000. She's already raised, I think, roughly 40,000 plus, which, in the end, the DNC is going to fund any type of lawyer fees or attorney fees that she may accrue. So this whole thing is a setup. And I find it a waste of time. It's a waste of taxpayer dollars. It's a waste of my time that I'll never get back for even watching this nonsense.
Well, it's just what's fascinating to me is, so she's already verified on Twitter, so she's got that blue check mark that I don't have. And she's on her way to Europe right now. She's going to testify before a panel in Europe as well about this. So just to explain this, John, basically by doing this, Congress is then forced to act. Marsha Blackburn will be on in a little bit, senator from Tennessee. She wants to see big changes to Section 230 and the Child Protection Act. That is something that should happen. But by doing this, multi-billion-dollar Facebook can then wipe out the competition because smaller startups won't be able to compete with these changes that are put in place by Congress.
Well, we're supposed to be a free country. We're supposed to have free enterprise. We're supposed to be able to chase with both hands and both feet, pursue happiness. And these people that we're talking about are truly, and people seem to have lost sight of this, these are high offices of public servitude. These are people who are not supposed to be going out and raising money and there's supposed to be a line between the Zuckerbergs of the world and the John Q. Publics of the world. There's supposed to be some restraint on them. But because our government at this point, or the folks who are supposedly running the country, are so beholden to these very wealthy companies, very powerful companies, that line has been completely erased.
Yeah.
And as an adult in this country, I keep using this word, but this is what I am thoroughly embarrassed by their behavior on all counts, and anyone who is publicly associating with this administration. It's from artwork to the son of the president to what we're talking about here,
Yeah.
all the way across the board. It is nothing short of a disastrous embarrassment for this country, and we must regain our stature in the world.
It's a good point,
It's
John.
not just about our country. We are a global embarrassment because of this.
All right, I want to play a quick soundbite before we go. Rashida Tlaib, Congresswoman, was wearing a mask, just like she's supposed to be doing. Take a look at this interaction.
Oh, I thought you were like, oh, wait, he's the one unmasked guy.
Because I got a Republican tracker.
If you caught that, she said to one of her colleagues there, "I'm wearing a mask because there's a Republican tracker with a phone on." In other words, I'm wearing this mask for the cameras. Forget about the federal mandate. It's total virtue signaling. Christopher Arps, what'd you make of this? By the way, Democratic trackers are out with every Republican that's elected to state and federal office. They're everywhere, but it's just. She's saying the quiet part out loud and doesn't even care. She does it with impunity. Takes the mask, puts it on, says the camera's on. I put the mask on. We've seen AOC do it in pictures. Why do we continue with this theater? I mean, literally, I feel like we should all be applauding because it's a wonderful performance.
Well, what we saw was just another example of Democratic hypocrisy. Do as we say, not as we do. Who's surprised?
Yeah, I'm with you. Amy, thoughts?
Sure. Well, first of all, she's outside, so everyone should be fine to not wear a mask, but they are doing it just for show at this point. And she's right. She does have to perform for the cameras in order for the rest of us peasants and dummies to continue to listen to what they are demanding that we do. And then I find it interesting when I posted this on Twitter that a number of left-leaning responses were actually taking hits at the Republicans.
Amy, I saw. I saw your tweet. Amy
her.
Tarkanian is an enjoyable follow on Twitter, as is Rob Finnerty. Finnerty USA. To all of you out there. Amy, I'm with you. John, good to see you. John Schneider, Christopher Arps, always a pleasure. I'll see you on your show very soon. Amy Tarkanian, great having you on as always. Hope to see you again very soon.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Stay free.
Thanks, guys.
Yes.